Now that we've dealt with all the skills you will need in order to create your own basic Word document, I'm going to give you a brief run through of everything we discussed today. So as you can see, I once again have an unformatted text in front of me, with the same heading and the same body as before. We are going to go over to the Home tab and talk about all the skills that you've learned today. We discussed the font, paragraph spacing, and the styles in which your document can be saved. Let's go ahead to font. In font, you can always select a piece of text. We'll just select learning something, and you can always change the size by using this point drop down. We are just going to keep it at 12-point spacing because it is the standard spacing used. And as you can see, we are using Arial once more, as it is neat and professional and used quite often. When in the font section, you can also change the color of your text. By using this drop down, you can see that we are currently using the color black, but we can always use the color red. See, learning something has now changed from black to red. Let's change it back quickly. What can also happen in terms of the Home tab is that you can select a group of text and you can alter the paragraphing. What this means is you can always format your paragraph to look the way you want. So we are currently left aligned, but you can center align something, right align something, or justify your paragraph. Or just keep it at left align. You can also increase the spacing. It is currently at 1.5 spacing because that is easy to read, but you can select it once and as you can see, it increases or decreases automatically. Let's just keep it where it is. Sometimes, in terms of how important your text is, you will want to format the alignment to make that visually represented. So you can select an indent, which means that this body of information below the text is then only contained to that heading. Let's put it back. The amount of times you select these indentations will then increase the indentation. You can also, if you wish to do so, group your information in bulleted lists. As you can see, selecting the bullet automatically formats the text that I've selected into a bulleted list. The next paragraph can then also form part of that bulleted list. Let's go back. As you can see, our heading 1 in styles has automatically been selected. We want to now perhaps change the visual of what our document may look like as we have gone through previously. So let's go to the Design tab again. As you can see in the Design tab, you have themes once more, and you have the document formatting over here. So let's change our document to have a different theme. I'm going to choose dividend. Now the document formatting drop-down also has options available as spoken about previously. Let's select the same option for consistency, and let's change the color once more to a nice warm blue so that it ties in to the Word default coloring. The document is starting to look nice once more, but as you can see, the text in the body of your document has shrunk down. So let's go back and change this. Back to Arial, back to 12-point spacing, and let us adjust the normal text in your style section to be updated to match the selection. There we go. Now, as I said previously, it is always important when dealing with a document that is quite extensive to sometimes add headers, footers, or page numbers. So as you can once again see, we have the header, footer, and page number option in the Insert tab. We can add a header. We can do the same header as previously selected. 3 options because it helps you to add as much information as you want in your document. So once again, we'll type software. Let's just correct the error we've made. We can type the author name here perhaps, me, and then we can type the date that the document was created, which is the 12th of September 2018. If you have finished with your header formatting, it is important for you to close your header and your footer because it will not do this automatically. There we go. Another thing we dealt with in terms of the Insert tab was the footer. we discussed all the different built-in layouts that the footer could take, but we said that because we have so much information in our header, this is not necessary to add. So let's go ahead and add a page number once more. As you can see, a page number can occur at the top of the page, at the bottom of the page, in the page margin, or a current position. So let's go ahead and put our page numbers at the bottom again because our header is quite busy. The various options also pop up to the left in terms of where at the bottom of the page number will occur. So let's go ahead and just click plain number 2 so that the number is in the middle. As you can see in the design tab, under header and footer tools, you have the option to select a different first page. I'm going to deselect this because I want my first page to be consistent with the others. And then I'm going to close my header and my footer once more. As you can see, my document now looks exactly the same as the document I formatted earlier. However, there are some squiggly red lines under certain words. Why is this? Because we have not gone and reviewed the document once more. Why is review important? Review is important because you will need to make your document flawless in order for individuals to regard it as neat and professional. How do we do this? Once again, as stated in the previous lesson, we will need to set a proofing language over here, and then we'll need to check the spelling and the grammar over here. But let's first go to the set proofing language. As you can see, it is English South Africa, which is what we want. We are typing in English and we are currently in South Africa. As stated previously, you can adjust the country depending on the country that you are in, and it is wonderful to be able to do this because then you know, without having to think about it, that your document follows the standard wording, spelling and grammar of the country in which you are situated. There are options below these two checkboxes which you can select or deselect in order to check your spelling or grammar automatically. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say leave the checkbox as detect language automatically, because then when I type, I know that something is wrong immediately and I can go back to it. So I'm just going to click OK and we can start proofing. Now I will select spelling and grammar. As you can see, the same grammatical errors have occurred. I'm just once again going to select yes, and the grammatical error has been amended. I'm also going to just select. Now I'm going to click through. I'm going to say ignore once again, and then as you can see, my spelling and grammar check is once again complete. I will now select OK, and I have now got a flawless document which is ready to be distributed to whomever wants to read it. I hope you enjoyed this basic introduction to Microsoft Office Word. Stay tuned for any of the following courses which will come, which include Excel, PowerPoint and Outlook, if you want to learn the basic skills that you will need in order to compile a basic version of any one of those software suites documents.